Today we're going out to the Red Cloud Mine. Actually, we're going to the Red Cloud Mine area. Most people refer to this entire area as Red Cloud Mine. There's really over 20, some people say as many as 30 mines out here. We're going to show you what's there, show you inside at least one of the mines. There's some graves that we're going to take a look at. It's a couple of old structures, a couple of really interesting places to explore.
We start the day not far from Desert Center, just off the Interstate 10 exit at the Red Cloud Mine Road. This road will take us into the hills and to all of the stops that we're making today. This road is flat most of the way, but you will need four-wheel drive and high clearance to get through a couple of the sandy areas and a few slightly rocky spots.
This is one of the places I love coming to. It's one of those places where not a lot of people can go, because you do need four-wheel drive to get up here. It's not all covered in graffiti and it's not all shot up yet, so it is a great place to go and explore.
Our first stop for the day is at the Great Western Mill. It sits about 20 feet above the wash, and to get to it you'll have to drive up a moderately steep hill that could be intimidating if you're new to off-roading. The Great Western Mill was probably used to process some of the gold and silver that was mined here, and it's still an impressive structure even after being abandoned for over 50 years, and it's a great photo opportunity. After exploring around the mill for a while, we headed back to the wash, down that same hill, which is even more intimidating going down than it was coming up.
So we're a couple of hundred yards east, right up the wash from the mill structure that we were just at. And there's another structure, it looks like an old building or an old house, with a couple of mines right nearby. There's a shaft right here in front of me, which is right in front of the house. Then across the wash, there's another large adit that goes straight into the hill.
Further up the wash, the road splits in several places. On most of these sections, it's hard on one side and flatter and easier on the other, so you may have to get out and check the road a few times.
Now we're at the Cyanide Tanks. This is also called the Redhead Mine, but we call it the Cyanide Tanks because of the huge tanks, leaching pits, I think they were called, that were full of cyanide. And you know that they were full of cyanide because on the side it says, warning, cyanide, poison.
At the Redhead Mine, in addition to the large cyanide tanks, you'll find the remains of several structures and an old can dump. It's a great place to stop for lunch and explore, but be sure to wash your hands because it's likely that all of that pink mud is full of toxic cyanide. About a half a mile further up the wash, you'll find the graves of Danuario and Carmen Figueroa, whose family owned the Red Cloud Mine for over 100 years. The graves are right in front of what's left of their home, almost directly below the old water tank on the hill. There's not much left of their house, but the graves are still in surprisingly good condition. Just a few yards past the graves, there's another fork in the road. We took the rougher section to the right and followed it just a few hundred yards.
We came up this little canyon, and hidden up this little canyon is a huge mine that we're going to go check out. All right, so we're coming in the entrance of the mine, a sharp left turn, and a long tunnel. Wow, very long. Adit all the way down. So there's some rock falls and cave-ins there, and looks like another one right here where it's collapsed a little. You gotta kind of walk over it. All along the walls and the ceiling here, you can see hundreds, thousands of the pick marks, it looks like, where they picked and worked their way through this stone. So we're in about maybe 50 yards, and we are at the end. Basically the end of the mine here.
This kind of dead ends into stone. A lot of, looks like animals have drug in a lot of stuff from outside here. Something's been living here. So we're about 9 miles in off of the freeway. We found everything we came exploring for. We found the big mine. We found the grave of the Figueroas. We found the old stamp mill. It's only been about 5 hours. It will probably take another hour or two to get back out of the canyon. This is mostly an easy run all the way up here through the wash. There are a couple of rocky spots, a couple of bumpy areas, 1 or 2 extra credit sections if you're bored and if you want to challenge yourself. But overall, any 4x4 vehicle should make it up here just fine. A little extra clearance would help, but it's overall an easy run. If you have any questions about this area, about what we saw today, how to get here, leave a comment below and we will do our best to answer it as quickly as possible. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.